Welcome to Sacred Conversations. My name is Mandulo, and today I haven't written down any notes, and I'm just closing my eyes and I was just prayed about it so that I may just channel divine energy for those who need to hear this message today. For those of you who fear being seen, fear being seen. Now, have you asked yourself, why do you fear being seen? And who told you that you shouldn't be seen? What in your environment affirmed to you that you do not deserve to be seen? So it's important to ask yourself these questions and to understand that what you are actually perceiving is within the subconscious mind and the memory of the pain body stored in your nervous system. So I work with people to help you recalibrate your nervous system and to rewire your brain. Now, fear is a necessary element within your DNA and in your coding. Why? Because you need to be able to, in cases of harm or harm inflicted upon you, to be able to act quickly and to move out of that situation that can inflict harm on you. Now, the thing is, because of your conditioning, included in the conditioning is the environment and the types of food that we consume. And the types of food that you consume is not only through ingesting through like a watermelon or a pizza, it's ingesting through what you see, what you hear. It's basically your food comes from your sensory organs. So you receive food. Now, when we dissect what food is, it is a form of nourishment to help you gain and refuel for energy. Now, the sun is also a form of food. Water, being hydrated, is a form of food. Conversations that pour into you, that allow you to tap into your highest alignment, is food. So, more often than not, what you are craving when you are hungry, because there's a very, very fine line, there is a connection that you are seeking. Now, depending on the level of hunger you are seeking and that you have, and depending on what tool you use to access gaining that energy. Now, some can go into drugs, some can go into food, some can go into sex. There's so many different elements of food and nourishment that you receive that has a huge gap that shows you that you are disconnected from source, that you're disconnected from your heart, that you're disconnected from the medicine, that you're disconnected from yourself and you are seeking connection. Now, here it goes into your childhood. Whether it was a parent, whether it was a caretaker, whether it was your siblings, whoever was your first love, was your first representation of love, and the amount of time that you spent, you became them too. Have you heard that saying where people say, you are what you eat? It is no different to you are what you consume. So you consume people too, you consume the environment too. That becomes a form of you, and it doesn't have to if you become aware of it. This is where we introduce prayer. And prayer is a form of gratitude, and it's giving thanks, and it's a form of protection, and it's a form of support, and it's a form of guidance. It's you connecting to your highest perspective, asking for protection so that whatever energy is connecting from this thing outside of you, even if it was drawn and magnified from inside of you, that whatever conflict resides in the exchange, that it will be eliminated. So it's important to pray. I remember once reading in the Bible where it talked about Jesus eating in the table with like food and people who apparently weren't clean according to his disciples, and he said, "Pray, pray over it. Pray over it because it's energy that you're releasing. Remember, emotion, energy is energy in motion. So in the exchange, what comes from you is magnified towards you. So what comes to you is what comes from you is magnetized to you. And this comes in vibration, where we speak about low vibration and we speak high vibration. It's fear and then it's peace and joy at the top, but it's all love. Okay. So the fear to be seen, the fear to be seen, fear is a low vibrational state of the highest form of love, which is joy and peace. So why now do you fear peace? Why do you fear joy? Do you feel deserving to have peace? And do you feel deserving to express your joy? Ask yourself those questions. And then the three most important things that every human needs is to be seen, to be heard, and to be acknowledged or felt. So to be seen, to be able to freely express who you are at any given moment without the need to hold yourself back, without the need to pretend that you aren't that which you are, without any suppression, basically. So there's an abundance of your energy in motion flowing in the space that is accepted and allowed. But were you allowed to express your energy in motion? Were you allowed growing up to express your discomforts, your sadness, your frustrations without being bullied into a dictatorship that said, this is my house, this is my rules? Were you allowed? Because if you were not allowed, then that stress and suppression, which causes depression, deep rest, your body needing deep rest from the character it is playing, from the stimulation or the overstimulation that you would feel from the high stress and chaos running from the disorder in your immediate environment from the people who loved you. So this is a nervous system recalibration. It's about understanding how to alchemize that when you feel this particular emotion, low vibration of fear, that you immediately be able to learn the processes to be able to alchemize this energy into feeling joy, this energy into feeling peace. But now not only is it a rewiring of your mind, it is also a recalibration in the nervous system. Your nervous system, which holds water predominantly, stores information. It's the heart brain, it's the mind brain, it's the body brain, which connects to all the other organs. At the seat of your soul, the divine resides. That which is your highest perspective is seated there. Your breath connector, your life giver, your life force is also connected there, right? This then, as you breathe in, feeds into the brain. The brain then articulates this information as either fear, joy, or peace. But now, as this memory is coming up, there's joy coming up all the time because God is giving us life. There's an ever unfolding of an abundance and an unfolding of you as your highest perspective is emerging. More and more and more love is coming your way. Now, do you feel deserving? That is the question. Because now, as the information is coming through from heart to brain, there's either coherency or a lack of coherency. And if there is a lack of coherency, you are being drawn to pay attention to how you can alchemize so that you are connected head to heart in your body. Okay. So when you are connected in your body, then you feel safe. Now, because if you grew up in an environment that had a lot of chaos and you weren't allowed to speak and use your voice, then you would feel suppressed, you would feel anxious. I spoke earlier about it is natural to have stress, but because of lifestyle and the way in which society is moving and the world is energetically moving, all for purpose, we have an accumulation. So now there is excess. And what happens is if you are consuming more and more of things that are suppressing your voice, what happens is there is more of the abundant state coming out. It will feel heavy on the body. So then what will happen is you will want to contract, because on one aspect, your higher self is saying, speak, use your voice. But because your conditioning and the access of stress in your nervous system and your brain that has been conditioned to not be seen, it is suppressing that information coming through. That is why as soon as you get inspiration, you feel this inspiration and you feel this like immediate hit. And then all of a sudden, the conditioning comes through. You start diving into a portal of lack because this person said this and this person said, and they told you who you are without realizing who you, or without you being given the opportunity for you to help you realize who you are. Now we go into the aspect of being chosen. Now, you must understand the fact that you came on to earth. You were chosen with the exact set of parents who would be able to help you remember who you are through, specifically if they were not healed, through who you are not. I'll say that again. Your parents, two lovers, came to heal their own wounds. But if they were not conscious of what they were doing by bringing you in, you, from that unhealed space, will learn and flow through who you are not in order to know who you are. And that's part of like the easiest way to know who you are: discomfort. That's why it is important to make discomfort your best friend, because discomfort is information and information is power. Or rather, discomfort is information. Information breeds clarity, and clarity allows for power, because the clearer you are to putting your charger in the socket, and you're not moving it around the socket head, you plug it in automatically, you're getting clearer. That's when you gain power. Okay, so you mainly feel fear to be seen because of the conditioning that when you came, you believed who you are as who you are not. So I really hope that this can help you understand that it's just an aspect of shifting the mind and then recalibrating the nervous system so that you understand that your destiny is peace and joy. It is your birthright. Okay? That's where your power lies, in your pain. Now, if you become your pain, that means that you have forgotten. And this is why it takes time. It doesn't have to take many years, as many years that you realized who you are not. Excuse me. Realizing who you are not to realize who you are, because it is about alignment. All of this is about alignment. But because now, as you move from your initial environment growing up, you start to develop different habits from different people. You start to see different things. You start to learn different mannerisms that either confirm who you are or confirm who you are not. And the ability for you to build capacity is so important in the healing journey. When we talk, sorry, I'm getting like passionate here, and I should have actually just put like water close to me. When we talk healing, we speak about recalibrating the nervous system, and we speak about rewiring the brain. We recalibrate the system back to peace and joy, and then we rewire the brain to peace and joy. Oh, actually, sorry. Let me reverse a little bit. We recalibrate the nervous system for safety. We rewire the brain for joy and peace. Those two connected together is power. But you have to make discomfort your friend. So lean into fear. Breathe into it. And more often than not, what you really have to do is breathe and just become aware. And as you become aware, you alchemize and create. So you shift that energy out there into making your pain the most beautiful thing. Okay? So you only fear being seen because you have forgotten who you are. I'll repeat this. You only fear being seen because you have forgotten who you are. You have thought that who you are is who you are not. But remember, in order to know who you are, you will know who you are not. I don't know who needs to hear this, but I need to say this again to you. You know who you are through who you are not, but you got caught up in the story. You got caught up in the story and forgot because of the suppression and the physicalness or physicality that might have been inflicted on you too, to make sure that if you dare go against my word, there are repercussions. So I want you to understand you're grown now. You're not that little child anymore. You have stronger bones. You have a stronger mind. You are radiating. And I want you to radiate back to who you are and add some of that wisdom that you had through your life experience, okay? If you feel called to work with me, please connect with me and email me. What I help you with is just mentoring you back to recalibrating your nervous system back into safety and rewiring your brain to expect joy and to expect peace, so that you form more boundaries and you build a fence around your home so that no visitor can just enter without your permission anymore, because you deserve the best. Okay? So I'm here to just remind you, Simbakins, who you are. That's it. The healing comes from you. That's your choice. But the healing is the recalibrating to safety, nervous system, and rewiring the brain back to joy and peace. I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you and just to work with you and to experience the joy of the remembrance. You know, I have this image always. Maybe some of you actually need to watch The Lion's King again. But that moment, obviously, that typical moment that everybody speaks about. And it's like, you know, and he comes up and he brings Simba up and everybody celebrates because this is king, you know. This is king born as perceived to some as nothing, but as king, you know, has higher connecting source and energy and love and abundance of everything. So when you when you are ready to remember who you are, Simbakins, I am available. And you can just book and then Bob's your uncle. We can help you remember because you deserve the best. You deserve the best. Okay, sending so much love.